We're in today with the RTX 3070. This is a 2020 video card from Gigabyte with 5888 shaders. It's got 8 GB of VRAM running at 1500 MHz on the core clock, 1750 MHz on the memory clock, 256 bits bus with DirectX 12, and today we're gonna pair it up with this i7-6950X with 10 cores and 20 threads. But the most important thing about this setup is that the focus needs to be on the CPU. I changed the CPU today because I wanted to see if I can push this computer to the limit, and today we're gonna see how it's running with this i7. The best thing we can do for this CPU is just jump in a couple of games and see if that frequency on the core helps. Let's go. The first thing I want to do is jump in GTA 5 because I know GTA 5 it was a problem with the CPU. 22 cores and 22 threads, I mean 44 threads in that situation, but I had low frequency. This is actually interesting to see the CPU running like this, not gonna lie. 4000 megahertz on a CPU, come on, this is actually a good performance overall. So I want to see how this computer is holding, because previous I had problems with the CPU. Now I got a different type of performance, and I put this 3070 from Gigabyte AORUS model in order to see if I can push this system to the limits. You know, I want SLI as best as possible, you know, to have no problems, and in order to do that I have to eliminate the CPU problem. And I think this is one of the solutions. I'm on 1440p maximum details, everything is turned on, and at this stage you can actually see that the whole system is doing a fantastic job. Maximum details, everything is turned on, not a single option, everything is maxed out aside from the frame scale. I didn't activate a frame scale because that's butchering the whole experience, but in this case you can actually see even the video card is 81 degrees. I put maximum performance there, even the fan is on maximum, everything is turned on. So in this situation I think this video card is cooking seriously. But it's got 5.2 gig of VRAM utilization. The game looks gorgeous, you know, everything here is perfect. The only thing I don't like is the temperature on the video card, but aside from that is okay. So on the CPU side I got like 25% load on the CPU, 42 degrees, you know, that 3x fan, you know, is doing the job here with 8.6 gig of system RAM utilized and 415 watts consumption. Not bad, you know, not a bad performance from this computer, but the only thing I can do, jump in online and see how it's holding there, because that's the problem. That's the big problem. This is a decent performance considering what CPU I have. Every single time I was online I had problems, you know, with the CPU. Every time I was trying to test SLI and Crossfire, all the time I had problems, and the CPU was not allowing me to actually do the job, you know. Even though the GPUs were like capable of pushing high FPS or quality online, I had only problems. But in this case you can clearly see that it's possible to use the CPU as an online platform, you know. I like the performance this video card is offering. I like the CPU performance, you know, it's 5.7 gig of VRAM utilization. All is good, you know, in this case. In Starfield with ultra details, maximum details, 1440p, I got DLSS activated on balance. I wanted to see how the GPU is holding with this system. It's very interesting to see, because I knew from the previous video that I done with the old CPU, it was doing a fantastic job, but it was not being pushed at the maximum because of the frequency. I'm not saying the game is not doing a fantastic job, I'm just saying that it looks fantastic and is doing great, you know. The performance in the game is good. It's utilizing the CPU, 50% load on the CPU with 47 degrees, you know, and easily reaching 50 degrees on this occasion. 14 gig of system RAM utilized, 60 FPS on average. Do remember this is ultra details on 1440p with DLSS activated on balance, and in this situation you can actually see the details is fantastic. Yeah, everything is good here. I mean, if I go around and see, yeah, it's majestic, you know, so there's no problem on playing the game like this. I would love to play the game like this, you know. It's only utilizing 400 watts, only 400 watts, you know, to play Starfield. It's just, I'm joking, you know, because it's a lot of wattage here in this situation, and yeah, I would love to put lower details in order, maybe activate VSync in order to stabilize that wattage, because maybe 300 watts will be ideal in this case, you know. Maximum performance from the CPU here with this occasion, but the GPU is not maxed out. I got like 74% load on the GPU side. It's okay, you know, because it's not overheating the GPU. This is a very hot GPU, you know. Even though it's got a big radiator, I don't understand why it's so hot. Maybe the fans are too slow. I don't know. Maybe it needs some connection, direct connection on those fans, and then push it to 100%, because apparently, even though it says 100% fan speed, I don't think the fans are on the highest RPM in order to deliver some nice temps, you know. I think this is that video card that needs to be put on the side and modify the fan. Maximum details, 1440p, ray tracing activated, everything is turned on with this maximum ultra details. I still don't understand how this video card is capable of delivering this type of performance. Seriously. Look at this, 6.8 gig of VRAM utilized, maximum core load. I'm thinking the temperature is gonna get higher and higher. 400 watts consumption from the whole computer, 230 watts consumption from the video card, considering all the fans and stuff like that are around the video card. Nearly 2000 megahertz on the video card, so it's not shy about this. I think if it's reaching 83 degrees, it's gonna start dropping below 1900 in order to keep that thermal on check. It's throttling at one point in order to not overheat, but in this situation you can see that it's not quite okay to actually push it like this. I will limit the quality, you know, in order to get the best performance. I mean, the whole thing looks fantastic, but in this case you can clearly see that I mean, if you want to play this game, you don't want to push it like this. But the question was, does it run okay with the CPU? Well, 15-20% load on the CPU doesn't have a problem. 13.4 gig of system RAM. I mean, the moment I start walking around, I can see some fuzziness because it's TSR here, and I don't have any frame generation FPS on the FPS part. You know, if I put it on DLSS, it looks very funky. I don't understand why, but not my problem. There's a lot of options in order to move around, in order to see if you can find the best quality for you, but in this situation you can understand that this is the best this video card and the system can provide. I think ray tracing on very high is not very adequate with this 3070. Is not very capable of pushing this. I think in order to put that ray tracing with maximum details, you have to have like a 3090 Ti or a 4090 or something in order to get 60 FPS. But all in all, I can say is doing a fantastic job. So in this situation, the game looks fantastic, and yeah, it's running with 36 FPS, but not a CPU problem. This is a GPU problem. All right, let's see how it's running with Delta Force here with maximum details, 1440p. I got the decent performance here from this computer. I'm not gonna lie, it looks spot on with this video card, with this configuration. I got 92 FPS on average, 82 degrees on the computer side. Oh no, fam. I definitely want to see this game running more constant in this occasion with this computer. I want to play this game a little more. Seriously, 100 FPS over 82 degrees on this occasion. I think lowering the FPS is gonna help with the temperature in this case. I mean, the quality here is actually fantastic. There's no problem on playing the game with this CPU. There's no problem, because this was the question today. How is the CPU holding in this occasion? And it's holding pretty well. The CPU on the other hand has got like 25% load. It's not that bad with this configuration. 12.7 gig of system RAM utilized. It looks and it runs fantastic in this occasion. I'm actually playing the game and it feels very smooth, you know. I have no problems with the frame time. I'm around 8-9 frame time. Sometimes it's going to 12 ms, but it all is good in this occasion with this CPU. This is the prime start today in this occasion. This is actually a fantastic performance. Hear me out, because I want to explain why. I remember coming into this game and trying to push this game to the maximum, and I remember this is the only game that managed to use VRAM at maximum and the CPU at the same time. The CPU, I mean, I managed to see in Starfield that the CPU was utilized properly, you know, in that occasion. So I can't say nothing bad about the CPU and the Starfield because he managed to utilize it in that situation. All in all, I can say that I wanted to see on maximum details on 1440p in Legion to see if it's utilizing the video card at maximum. Maximum, I mean, with ray tracing on, everything turned on, and the CPU doesn't create any problems. 12.9 gig of system RAM in this case. You can actually see the game looks fantastic in this situation. 81 degrees on the video card with 99% load and 1.9 gig on the frequency. That means it's not throttling yet in this situation, but the game looks fantastic. You know, you can actually see 37 FPS. I can feel that FPS. Usually this game, if you reach 60 FPS, it feels flawless, you know. So based on the wattage that I have, nearly 430 watts, I would say this is definitely adequate quality and performance from the system. Does it run Crysis? This is one of those games that actually puts a dent on my computer, but I don't know where, because in this situation with 1440p maximum details, you can actually see the video card is not pushed to the limit. I mean, the game looks fantastic. Yes, there is no problem on actually playing the game with this configuration. Yeah, 50 FPS, 78 degrees on the GPU's core. You know, 60% load on this occasion is not that bad. But look at near the fire, I get less FPS. 3.2 gig of VRAM utilized. In the fire and in the smoke, I get below 60 FPS. What the heck is wrong with this? It's actually interesting, but yeah, I want more FPS. And I want to find out the problem. I think this game requires a high frequency CPU in this case, not even higher on this. The GPU is doing okay in this occasion, but the video card doesn't have a problem. The only problem I have here is the CPU, you know, and struggling to keep 50-60 FPS. The whole point today was to see how this video card is performing with the CPU. Can I push the CPU to the limit? And I managed to push it, and I've seen a couple of games that managed to actually take some nice performance from this CPU. The whole idea was to buy this CPU first. I didn't want to get that $26.99, but I thought that was the best, you know. More cores, the better it is, but apparently no. You know, with this i7 apparently it's going to be totally different, so I need to bring back some SLI and Crossfire. This is the most important thing, you know, because I managed to see a couple of times with the Crossfire that I had and the SLI that the CPU was not enough. Hopefully this is going to change it and is going to help me in this occasion to push those video cards to the maximum. I tried to overclock the CPU, but I only had to reset the BIOS so many times, and I say, you know what, let it boost to 4000 megahertz. I will call it a day. I've seen people pushing it to 4.5 and stuff like that, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to overclock. I tried my best to actually understand it, but I only almost bricked the main board. Then I had to default the whole setup in order to make the machine power up again. If you have any suggestion for this CPU or for this GPU, leave a comment and I will see you very soon.